I'm Judy Vitale, your astrologer, and this is ReadTheStars.com's weekly horoscopes at work. Got a pretty busy week, but most of the action doesn't happen until toward the end. To me, the biggest one is probably the Lunar New Year, which is a new moon that takes place this Thursday. We're going into the year of the horse. This is a time when there's going to be a lot of fast action, so buckle up and get ready for the ride, because it is very much, for most of us, like riding on a horse. You can go and find out, how your Chinese astrology sign corresponds to the horse, and they're all kind of compatibility. Chinese astrology is fascinating, and it goes way beyond what you see, just like horoscopes go way beyond what you see in magazines. But nonetheless, I do want you to take a moment and think about the moon starting a whole new cycle this Thursday. On Friday, that's a really big action day. We're going to have Jupiter in an opposition to Pluto. This does not happen like every day. This isn't like a little thing, big deal. This is going to expand our desire to transform and change. I wonder about what the financial markets are going to do. They could go way up, they could go way down. I don't know, but there's going to be a big change on Friday. Mercury going into Pisces, also on Friday. That's going to be a moment where we kind of take our thoughts and make them a little bit more based on feeling, instincts. Develop your instinct, develop your intuition, and use it. Don't discount it as something that's silly or foolish. Intuition is the #1 way that we know what's going on, and it is much more complex than we really give it credit for. I say that as a water sign for those of you who know what I mean by that. And then we have Venus going into its stationary to direct period. If you've been in like sort of a trial in a relationship, or you've been waiting for a moment to like make a move in a relationship, this is the time. Friday, okay? So schedule that date. Sounds like a good one. All right, Monday we have the moon in Sagittarius, and then it goes void of course at 5:02 p.m. So Monday evening, don't plan anything big. You know the moon void of course scenario. If you don't, go to my website and read about it under Weekly Horoscopes at Work. On Tuesday, the moon will go into Capricorn. Sounds good. Sounds like we'll be nice and organized, except it's going to also get involved in that mess up in the sky. We'll have square to Uranus, conjunction to Pluto, and an opposition to Jupiter, and a conjunction with Venus. So just a lot of action and a lot of like, I want this, I don't want that kind of decisions being made on Tuesday. Wednesday, most of the day, we're going to have a void of course moon in Capricorn from 11:47 a.m. until 11:33 p.m. Thursday, the moon's in Aquarius, as it usually is for Chinese New Year. It always is, actually. And the new moon will take place at around 4:38 p.m. So if you want to take a moment there, do something that's traditional. Red is the traditional color for the new year. And also, it's like a halfway point to spring. So that's like a really good idea. Believe me, it's been pretty chilly here where I live, and I'm sure where a lot of people live. So Friday is that big day I told you about. All I can say is try not to be a victim of circumstances. If you have any exposure whatsoever to sudden changes of any kind, take account of what you can do to make your life a little bit more stable, because things are going to go back and forth. And then that relationship thing, make your decision. You're going to go forward, you're not going to go forward. You're going to, decide to go out and go on the dating scene. This is a really good time in the next few days after that to start setting out and trying to meet somebody too. Okay? Saturday, moon in Pisces. So moon in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, very romantic. So as I just said, great time for dating next weekend. And then Sunday, the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, the Super Bowl. And Groundhog Day. And void of course moon. Expect the unexpected. That's all I'm going to say about the Super Bowl. Expect the unexpected. They may even have to change the date. They've already said that because of the weather. And I think that, whoever you think is going to win, if they have the game on that day, probably won't. So just be prepared also with your plans, and make sure that they allow for enough flexibility so everybody can have a good time. Enjoy your week. And if you want a little bit more information about yourself personally, contact me through ReadTheStars.com and private video readings. I will give you a private video reading for $19.95. You pay through PayPal or you send me a personal check. I deliver a 5 to 7 minute video of me reading your chart. You may ask 1 or 2 questions. Please don't ask me 10 questions. I can't answer them all correctly or thoroughly enough in 5 minutes. So, but 1 or 2 questions most certainly. So you could ask, is this a good time for me to change jobs? Is my relationship life okay? Should I move? What about my children? All these kinds of things. I love to take your questions and try to help you with your life. So private video reading at readthestars.com.